things. We got so many great ways to catch us nowadays. You know that, right? But hey, you've tuned in today. We've got a show for you, all right? But it's a specialized segment today. You're not going to get to call in, but you get to sit back, relax, get the pencil out, paper out. I would suggest a calculator. Oh, yes. And let's have some fun, laid back, summer school style, all right? Let's see what we're going to be doing today. Earning money. Many of you do summer jobs. However, I don't know how many of you are doing summer jobs that require percents to work through, but that's what we're going to talk about today a little bit. Earning money through percents, and it's not necessarily always just a summer job type setting. Sometimes it's a little thing called interest. So let's see what kind of numbers and things we're going to come through today, all right? It says using a formula. Oh, it's a formula all the time in it. I equals PRT, and a lot of you go that, Ernie, what is that I equals PRT all about? Well, write it down, because I'll tell you, first of all, I gave it away. The I stands for interest. You got it out there. Everybody mark that one down. N-A-I-N. Yeah, you can spell it. And let's see. P, how about principal? Principal, you say, what does that mean? My principal at school? No. You might want to invest them in these things, but this is the money you're going to invest. It's the amount of money you're putting into the account. That's what the P stands for. We call it principal. R, we'll put that as the rate. That's the percent, and we'll talk about that. Notice we got a little percent waiting for us up there at 4%. Got it? Everybody sees it? Nod with me. And time, big old T. T, time. How many years? Okay, now notice I said years. You say, well, Ernie, what do we do if it's months? We have to figure out a decimal, I guess, right? Because it's going to be, this formula is cranked out based on annual situation. All right, so keep that in mind, all right? Because that's what we're looking at. We're talking about annual interest here. And if we run it for 2 years, guess what? We're going to get it after 2 years. Does it make sense, everybody? It's simple interest, using the formula. This is the amount you would be paid if you're leaving it in there without touching it, doing anything to it for 2 years. In your bank, in your stocks, wherever, whatever, all right? So let's take a look at what happens when we substitute the numbers. We've got everything pretty well in hand. Everybody nod with me. You got everything pretty well in hand. Calculators, And also, let's do some writing. Get those pencils ready to go and the paper. And interest, we are looking for you here. Right there it is. We do not know. No, we do not know how much it's going to be. Some of you may have already figured it out based on the formula, but give the rest of it a little chance to catch up, including me. Now, what do we got? We got $4,000. I know what that means. Remember, that's our principal. That's what we invest. Right there we go, all right? The rate. Ooh, some of you put 4 down there. No. If you put a 4 in there, you're going to make a lot of money. Just let me tell you. You're going to make more money than you're allowed to, and, well, let's put it this way, it ain't going to fly. What you need to do is make that 4% into a decimal to multiply it out, all right? So you say, well, Ernie, what are we going to do? Some of you say, oh, he said put a decimal in there. I guess we'll put 1 in front of the 4 and call it 4/10. That's not what 4% means, my friends. 4% is 4 hundredths. So what we got to do is take that 4%, I'm just going to write it down here for a little bit, and what that is equal to as a decimal is not, as we like to call it, 0.4 or 4/10, but it's 0.04, which is 4 100ths with a th on the end of it, all right? So that's very, very important, all right? Yeah, all of a sudden you're saying, well, gosh, that's going to reduce my money, isn't it? Well, it's not going to reduce it. It's going to make it accurate, all right? But it certainly would reduce it if you just put a 4 in there or a 4/10 in there. Oh, my goodness, this will definitely have quite a reduction on it. But I'm sorry, that's the way it works. Not always is life good, right? I'm not happy. But anyway, you've got it there. Seriously, do remember that, because a lot of times people forget where that decimal goes. So I want to make sure everybody's got that down. Now, pick along here. How much time? 2. Count them, 2 years. And we're going to put that 2 right in there. And you know what? It's like I don't have to do anything. Well, I do. I have to multiply, right? All of the numbers are sitting there looking at me and saying, this is the amount of interest you're going to have. And it's not that bad. It's certainly more than you had, isn't it? So let's take a look and multiply them out. We can do this all in one fell swoop. I think we will on the calculator here, guys. We've got 4,000. And this is where we want to make sure we do things right. Put in that and put that decimal in there. If you forget that decimal, you are going to make a lot of money, but it's not legal. Let's see. We've got 0 and a 4. Be sure those get in there. Ta-da. And let's multiply. by 2 because we have 2 years of time to worry about. And when we punch that through and plunge that through, the numbers don't look so bad, do they? Let's see what we're going to get at the end of 2 years, of course. Drum roll time. Something like that. And enter, oh, it's $320. That's not bad. Now, you say, what does that mean, Ernie? That means you made $320 2 years without really doing much anything. You let the money work for you. All right, it's called investing. And what happens there is we take that $4,000 that we had originally, our principal, and you're going to add that $320 to it. And you're going to have, wow, $4,320 total, ready to decide, do I invest for another 2 years? Do I invest for another year? Do I do something different with it? Or do I just go out and have fun and spend it? All right? But this is your money. This is what you have without really doing anything except just let the bank or the loan company or whoever you're investing with take care of it for you. Now, you might have to pay them a little fee for managing it somewhat there. But in a bank, pretty much no. If you've got enough money in there, they are not going to be upset about you making their money, and then eventually they have to give you a little bit. They probably made a lot more off of you anyway. But that's your story there. That's how we work it, all right? Money time. You ready to earn money? Earn money without even to work. Isn't that great? But those of you who are working, then put some of that in there and let it work for you also. It's called investing. And investing is not a hard thing to do. Just got to know what the good things are, right? That's the hard part of it, I guess. So let's take a look at our next problem. We've got Sue, who's a little more realistic here. She's gone to a bank account. Actually, I think she's getting pretty good, good rate here nowadays, 2.5%, and you'll hear it, 2.5%. Everybody understands that's 5/10 for 1/2. But 2.5 simple interest rate, all right? We're going to invest $1,500. So once again, storyline is coming back to your good old friend, I equals, you got it, PRT, all right? Principal, rate, time. Everybody say it with me? Principal, rate, time. You're good, all right? Everybody got it? Principal is, again, how much you invest. Rate, well, it's a percent, and we're going to have to adjust it a little bit, so be ready to do that. Time, how many years? How many years do you have? Well, here we have 2 years again as our story. This time we're not putting in quite as much money, and let's see what happens. We're also not getting quite the rate either, are we? About 1.5 lower than what our last little storyline had. But we're at 2.5%. Now, how do we write that as a decimal? Ernie, you say, well, Ernie, you had like a minute ago, you had a decimal and 2 digits after it. There was a 0 and a 4, yes. So what do? We need still to move that decimal 2 places to the left. So here we've got it, look, 2.5%. That is not going to give us the decimal and then the 25. Don't do it. It's tempting. You've got to have a 0 between that decimal point. There we are. There we go. And there it almost disappeared. There we have it. All right, so we're going to put that in. 2 is easy. It's how many years, right? So put a 2 there. Jump that thing in there. Anybody making a guess out there? I'm sure some of you are. You know what? I think those numbers look like they are screaming, put them on a calculator, Ernie. All right, let's do it. Let's see what's going on here. Let's put 1,500 here. And let's multiply. Remember, put that 0 in there. Boy, it's a big deal. Yes, it's a very big deal. And we will multiply that by 2. Got it? Easy numbers, easy numbers. I didn't leave anything out. Didn't. And be careful when you use a calculator, my friends, because sometimes you can misstroke a key there, all right? And, ooh, we got $75 this time. Wow, what was that last one, 320? Well, this one's a little bit less. But you got to remember, you are $75 more than what you started with. But this is probably realistic what's going on in the banks. And that, you had to wait, what, 2 years to get it? That does take a long, slow crawl to grow. Oh, my goodness, yes, it's just almost as long as it took you to hear my statement on that, right? So watch carefully what happened here. Things that are influencing, obviously, that rate makes a difference. The time, even though it was a long time, well, my goodness, what if we'd had for 1 year? We would have half as much. You would have $37.50. And you'd go like, ooh, that's not even good either, you know. So think about it. How do you want to make money? Obviously, you've got to have some to pump in. You need a good interest rate, and you need to be able to deal with the time. And I'll tell you something, the longer you can wait, the longer you can do without it, the longer that money's going to have a chance to grow. And eventually we'll start looking at what we call compound interest. This is just flat out simple interest. And most cases, everywhere you do banking nowadays, you're at least going to get it once a year interest, and then you get some interest on the interest. But there again, it's not a high rate, is it? So again, look for those high rates and also be willing to leave it in those high rates for a long period of time. Then you might have some impressive totals for your interest once you pump that $1,500 in there. That's another show we'll do, okay, called Compound Interest and Growth Exponentially and things like that. But for right now, we're just going to make your money work as simple interest, all right? And again, it's up to you how much you want to go for and where you can find a good rate to put the money in. Let's take another problem out our front here, and we've got this great formula. Keeps coming up, doesn't it, folks? Just always over and over and over, using I equals PRT. And again, I always repeat because I don't know when you folks kind of tune into me and when you tune out or whatever, but what does the formula stand for again? I is for your interest, all right? P is for the principal. Principal, how much are you investing? How much money do you have to start with to make interest, all right? So there's you got interest, there's you got the principal, there's you got the money, all right? Now, R, rate, what percent? There we are. We gave that to you. Very good for us, isn't it? And then time, how many years? Time is always dealt with in years. Now, if I were to use like 6 months, I would use a half a year, all right? I need to transfer it there. We may see an example of that here in just a second, but for right now, let's keep it going with just simply 3 years, 4%, and ow. Let's read this problem. I equals PRT, we got that. How much must be invested? We are missing P, missing the principal. Some of you are going, well, Ernie, that means we have to work a little harder, doesn't it? That means we have to work a little harder, exactly. 4%, we got that. 3, got that. So let's substitute. Let's go with what we got. Now you say, Ernie, why wouldn't we know how much money we're investing? Well, sometimes you're going to look and ask an investor, how much money do I need to make this amount at that rate for a certain amount of time? Oh, yeah, got to work in reverse a little bit. It's not just straight multiplication on this one, all right? So let's play it piece by piece. Again, the formula tells us what we know, and it'll also tell us what we don't know. And that's important. That's an important thing. So let's see. Interest, got it. 2,400. P, don't know. There it is. Let it fly. Rate. Now again, I know I precaution, but I'm going to keep precautioning and just cautioning you this time. 4%. How do we write it? Not 4/10, not 0.4. Not 4 for sure. My goodness, if we put a 4 in there for R, we're going to be in really deep problems. What we need, you know what we need? We need to make that with a decimal. 0.04, because that's going to underestimate. If we put 4/10 or a 4 there, we're going to really underestimate. Let's put it this way: we're going to underestimate the amount of money we need to put in there. All right, by a long shot. You can work that one out on your own out there at home, and you'll see, oh yeah, that's what he means. But let's see what's happening on these. Let's see what's going on. Time, oh my goodness, we got 3 years. Not 3 years today, but 3 years for this problem. How's that? Now, putting in our numbers, let's see what we have. We have 2,400, that is our interest. Let's multiply those things together, and by the way, let's go give us 1/1200ths. That's got a TH, which makes a big difference compared to 2,400. Got it? All those. That's for my younger viewers, okay, who are thinking, wow, I can now see what he means. That's like 12 cents versus $2,400. You see the difference? Don't get decimals confused, right? That's hundredths with a th on it. This is with hundreds. Now, keep moving along. Oh, we got a P to put back in the problem, don't we? We've done this. We've taken care of that. Signed, sealed, delivered. Now, remember, my friends, this is a simple algebra equation, right? And by the way, if any of you ever ask, I've never used algebra. If you've done anything with money, if you've done any kind of committing change, where you've used operations of addition, subtraction, multiplying, division, you've used a little algebra. You just may not have known it in your head, all right? You've done some chunking along there, all right? You've done some problem solving and thinking. That's algebra, all right? Now, how do we get rid of this one? This is a multiplication symbol. Goodness, we got 12/100ths times P. I need to divide because that's how we undo the multiplication. So if we do it to the right, we got to do it to the left. Yes. So again, put a 1/1200ths underneath there. That's, by the way, that's called that good old division property of equality, because you're going to do the same thing to both sides. That's the equality, you're dividing, right? So it's a property. It's nice. Speaking of which, some of you are going like, Ernie, I'm not so sure I want to do that in my head. I don't either, okay? Let's go to the calculator and see what we get. 2,400 divided by our 1/1200ths. So we'll run much more smoothly, I hope. And there we got 20,000. Ooh, that's a good bit of money, my friends. Ooh, $20,000. Not bad. Equals P, all right? Because notice our P is now by itself. Our 1/1200ths have disappeared, and this divided out into this nice amount right here. Now, let's play again. Check. We want to check this one out, all right? So why not go right back to the formula, because we know it stays constant. We are now going to substitute in 20 grand because it's no longer a guess. It's hopefully the answer we've got, all right? We already know 2,400 is what we're looking for. If we get that, life is good. So put your 20,000 right in there. Put the 400ths right there and the 3. There we have it. And we're going to go back and do it on the calculator, all right? So to check that out, because we want 2,400. Everybody looking for 2,400? Some of you have already gotten it. I hope so. Let's take a look and see where we're going to go. How about it? We're going to say times, and look what it did. It said ANS. What does that mean? That means answer. That's the answer we got right there. So it automatically brought 20,000 down. You don't have to rewrite that or retype that. Just automatically takes care of it. Nice little technology moment. And we are going to multiply it by that rate, which we had was 400ths, the th on it. And we're going to multiply it by our time, which was, goodness, a long time to wait. 3 years. A lot of months there, 36 of them. We have 2,400. That's what we were looking for. And again, it's easy to check. Sometimes you may just play guess and check on it, but you still got to use the math. You still got to run the formula to say, well, okay, I want 2,400. You know, you say, well, Ernie, why would that be the case? Maybe more likely it would be 2,400 if I were running it for 2 years, because maybe you want to save about 100 per month. All right. This one looks more like you're saving a little bit, well, obviously a little bit less than that. But what would it be monthly? Okay, that would be your idea of how much you expect to be earning until you finally get it all there. So again, this is why we want to be able to kind of play the game and nail where we're going. You know, you may have a definite amount in mind. You may not have such a definite amount. You just play with some of these numbers to get you there and say, ooh, so that's what I need to invest. Or, ooh, that's what I need to pay off my car as a down payment. And I have to worry about on down the road. Lots of reasons why we worry about what's the missing principle, okay? Because what can we afford and what would we like to make back? Those kind of things. So big questions, pressing questions all the way around with our money and financial status. So again, I hope everybody's kind of figuring out, hey, percents are pretty important, aren't they? So let's take a look at one more situation here. And this time, we're missing the interest rate. There's always something in there. Always something. But we do have a formula that stays pretty constant. So let's go there. I equals PRT. But reading this one, it says using the formula I equals PRT. Got it, got it, got it. All parts of it. Find the interest rate. Ooh. If the earning from $4,000 is $450 over 18 months. So we got to think. If we've got 3 ingredients here, we can find the 4th. We can solve to find the 4th. That's the beauty of it. Do you have enough information? Well, I gave you 1, 2, 3 numbers. We've got to find a 4th one. I gave you 1, 2, 3, 4 variables. We hopefully know 3 of them, okay? Now, here's what we got to do is make sure we can work with them right. So starting off again, let's just look. We got some dollars running crazy here. Interest is going to be your $450. I think if you read that, the earning from 400,000 is. So the earning is 450. So there's your interest amount, $450. Your principal, how much are you investing? You put in 4,000. You put it in at, ooh, the percent is missing, is blatantly missing here, all right? So let's see what that's going to do for us. We're going to put an R for right now, okay? And what are we going to do about the months? Remember I said don't put 18 down there. Oh my goodness, don't do that. You will have it's going to really mess up your final answer big time, all right? What we need to do is change those months to years. Yeah, we're not waiting 18 years. This is 18 months. And 18 months, we know 12 months makes a year. It sounds like we got another half. So let's use the decimal form, since we're going to probably look for that in a rate anyway. So let's go 1 1/2. And you say, Ernie, I thought you had to have a 0 in front of the 1. No, you don't. Not on this. Now remember, this is not the rate. This is your time. This is 1 1/2 years. Boom. There we have it. Okay, everybody good? Nod with me. Everybody's nodding. I'm glad to hear that. Now, let's see what happens when we simplify this stuff a good bit here. Let's go ahead and multiply 4,000 and 1 1/2. I'm hoping it's going to get us 6,000. We're going to find out here in a minute. And we punch it in there, 1 and your 5/10 there, 0.5. We got 6,000. Whew, I'm on a roll. Let's see, 6,000 times letter R. Now, some of you folks who are in the pre-algebra world or in the Algebra 1 world and all those good things, you look at something like that and you're going like, 6,000 is bigger than 450. Well, it should be. We're looking for the rate, correct? We should get a decimal out of this of some size, shape, or form. Now, what we want to do is the same thing. It's multiplication, my friends. It's 6,000 times R. Over here it's got 450. So we want to unhook this multiplication. We are going to divide. And we are going to divide again. And I can go ahead and tell you right now, this thing is going to be less than 1. Anybody can see that, right? And I think that's what bothers us a lot of times when we're looking at something like that. Wow, it's small. Well, that's good, because we want our rate to be somewhat small, right? Because we're just picking up a part of that 4,000, not tripling and quadrupling and all sorts of stuff, all right? So let's see what happens. Let's go to the calculator on this one. We got our 6,000. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it because we really don't need it back. Let's do 450, and I think we're dividing by 6,000. My director will keep me straight on this. We'll get the right numbers in here. And I'm getting something that looks kind of crazy. There's a rate which equals to what? That's 75 thousandths. 0.075 that we like. Not 3/4. Folks, 3/4 means we wouldn't have that 0. This is 75 thousandths, which translates to something that probably would be reduced up there. We're not going to worry about that either right now. But what does this tell me in terms of the rate? We've been looking at rate as being a percent. And if you're being priced for plans to invest your money and stuff, they're going to tell you, they're not going to say you get 0.075% back, because it's not true. That's not what you're getting. This translates to 7.5%, which isn't too bad. Not bad there with whatever this investment was. Now, again, you know me, we like to check. Let's go back and check. All right, let's go back to I = PRT. And let's put in what we know, which is everything, hopefully, right? Everybody goes, uh-huh. But keep in mind, what are we going to do? We're going to put our 450 in there for the interest. We're going to put our 4,000, that's our principal. Change 7.5% back to, everybody good? Put a 0 there. Now, this is where the 0 comes in, all right? Then go ahead and leave your 1 1/2, 1.5, 1 5/10, however you like to call that. There you have it. My hope is that when we multiply all that craziness out, we get 450 back. Isn't that what everybody wants? We all want 450 back, so let's clear it out and see what we do. We got 4,000. We're going to multiply it times. Yes, that's 75 thousandths. Make sure that decimal place gets in there, otherwise we're going to have a problem. And we're going to multiply it times 1 1/2, 1 5/10, 1.5, all those great things you guys love to call it. And you know what we got? 450, which is exactly, always nice to get back to where you hope to get to, right? Shows us that our method worked, and we've got an easy check that 7.5% is where it's happening. And you know, we get teased about those things when we were trying to invest, because you hear, well, this gave us 6%, or that gave you 7.5%, or this could give you 12%. And you're thinking, I know the higher the percent, the better it is if it's money coming back to me. But now you kind of get an idea how much it works, all right, and how you can figure out actually what that return rate was. A lot of fun there with your math, and especially, yep, It is important to you. It's something you use day in and day out, correct? Hey, thank you for tuning in today. I do want to remind you that this show is summer school. And it's summertime. We're going to be live. No, we're going to be recorded, so to speak. But these are new episodes. So you're going to see a lot of new episodes this summer. So don't just say, oh, they've done that one before. We haven't. This was all new. And we've got a lot of all new things coming for this week and throughout the whole summer. Summer school, you know where to be. Mathline, I'm Ernie Roberts. We are glad to have you with us today. And we will see you again, next time.
Downton Abbey. What was it about this series that made the world fall in love with these characters and their stories?
Of course, if I knew why Downton had reached its level of success, I would do nothing else but make mega hits for the rest